Welcome to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast, where the sun's always shining and the stories are even brighter. Each episode, we bring you closer to the neighbors, local legends, and beachside businesses that make Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. Pull up a beach chair, grab a drink, and let's meet the people who make this island feel like home. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, and Home Well Care Services Fort Myers. They are the businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love. Here's your host, Cabo Jim Schaller.
Welcome, Fort Myers Beach good neighbors. I can get that out this morning. A little struggle there, but today we have good neighbor Gail Langner from State Insurance USA. Boy, I'm having trouble this morning, aren't I?
It's okay. It's Monday. It's all right.
It is. I think I spent too much time in the sun this weekend, I think is what happened. But it's been beautiful out there, so who can blame us, right?
Exactly right.
Today, we're going to learn a little bit about State Insurance USA. And for those of you not familiar with them, Gail, why don't we share a little bit about what you do?
Okay. Well, I can tell you about our company, State Insurance USA. We are a property and casualty insurance company. And what that basically means is we insure almost everything except for health. We don't do health, but your home, your auto, flood, your business, any of that. And it is Blake is our owner, Blake Chapman, and he started the business about 12 years ago. But he was a second generation insurance. His dad was an insurance agent long before him. But we started with one office in Fort Myers, and now we have 5 offices. We have 2 in Fort Myers, 1 in Fort Myers Beach, of course. 1 in Estero, and then 1 in Naples on Fifth Avenue as well. So we run our entire agency by Blake's core values. His number 1 core value is love. He feels like if we all love one another, everything will fall into place after that. Everything is minor after that. And so we're very client focused, make sure that we give our clients the very best coverage at the very best price. Very important is the fact that we're an independent agent. Well, what the heck does that mean? It means that we write for, in fact, we personally write for almost every insurance carrier in the state of Florida. So if you're not happy with the one particular insurance, let's say your home insurance, let's say your home insurance went way up, we'll look and see who's the best person for you at the very best rate. And Blake always just basically says your insurance policy is just a piece of paper until you need it. And when you get something like Ian that came through, you need it, and when you need it, you need it. And so that's our job, is the liaison between the insurance carriers and our super valued clients. So that's who we are.
I love that. Very community-based, obviously, here in Southwest
Absolutely.
Florida. And
Yes,
that's
we are.
important. It's important. So let's back up your story a little bit. How did you get involved in the insurance industry?
Oh, gosh. Okay, so I had been a Mary Kay sales director and a TV host for many years. And after my husband passed away, I actually went to BNI, which is business networking, with Blake. And we were on the same leadership team. And he said, "What are you going to do now that Gary has passed away? Do you have plans?" One thing led to another, and I agreed to help him with his marketing part-time, Monday, Wednesday, half day, Friday. And I think I did that about a month, and then I've been full-time ever since. So it's been almost 10 years I've been with him now. So
Wow.
I think we had 3 employees when we started, and I think as of today, I think we have 42. So yeah, so it's been an honor to watch it grow.
And
It's been great.
speaking of that growth, you had mentioned you're headquartered there in Fort Myers, right? But then you
Yes.
expanded to the beach. Why Fort
Yes.
Myers Beach?
We it was funny because people would say to us, they would call in and they would go, "Oh, are you on island?" And we'd go, "Well, no, but it doesn't really matter, where we
Yep.
are. I mean, we can write in Key West or Jacksonville or whatever." And they go, "Okay, well, thanks." And they would
Really?
hang up.
Wow.
Yeah. And so, and these days, really, you don't. you don't really go into your insurance agent and sit down with them anymore. It's, it can be done so much easier than that and to have to go and sit at the agent's desk. But they wanted us to be on island. So it took us literally years to find exactly what we were looking for. You know, sometimes the options were way too big, or when we looked at it, we went, "Oh, no thanks." Um, right? And so, it ended up that, Access Title, moved into, 100 Lovers Lane, there where the chamber is actually, and
Mhm.
Alex King and so on. And I happened to be at a Fort Myers Beach Chamber coffee. I'm the chair of the board for the Fort Myers Beach Chamber. And I happened to be at a coffee, and one of the gals from Access Title was there, and I was telling her, that I was so distressed trying to find someplace on the beach, and she said, "Well, we have an empty office that we could probably sublet to you," and that's how it started.
Wow, interesting. And you mentioned it's a very particular people on the island when they do business with people on the island.
Exactly
Support the
right.
local
Even
business.
though even though we were only like 5 or 6 miles off the island, it didn't they wanted us to be there, and I can understand that. So, yeah, but it took us a very long time to find just the thing, and we just happened to be at the right place at the right time, to have Access Title be there and just have that conversation come up. So, yeah,
And that's
and
what it
we
is.
did our ribbon cutting, I think 30 no, maybe 28 days before Ian.
Wow.
Mhm.
Crazy. So talk
Yep,
about challenges. We've all
right,
been through a lot of big challenges as of late,
yep,
especially, in your industry.
right.
Is there something that you could kind of look back at now and you can say, it's one of my prouder moments through all this and I persevered
Mm.
and I've come through?
It was a time for all of us where at the end of each day, those of us that worked here at State Insurance, I don't think there was almost a day we didn't go home and were crying. I mean, it was um, a very difficult time. I mean, a difficult time for everyone, and of course we didn't really know exactly how it was going to work. Like first, the field adjuster comes, and then after that, then the field adjuster takes his reports back to the insurance carrier, and then there is a desk adjuster that's set, and how that all goes, and for us being the liaison, I mean, sometimes our clients would call and say, "They're not calling me back. They're not calling me," and so we would jump in there and we would try to help, but of course, the people now that we look back, the people at the insurance carriers, they were overwhelmed. This was a natural disaster. This wasn't just some thunderstorm that came through,
Yeah.
and um, I think one time we had a disabled veteran that was our client, and he needed his refrigerator for his insulin, and we bought him a refrigerator and had it delivered. And I mean, it was just those kinds of things. I mean, we just did everything that we possibly could to help in any way we could. And sometimes it was just to listen. It was a bad time.
And that's what, sometimes people need that. They need the generosity of their community and coming together and helping each other. And,
Right.
it's, we can plan all we want. We never plan for something like that. And
No.
then when the time does come, we need to come together. And, thank God for people like you that, have come and stepped up and help build Fort Myers Beach back to what it was.
Yeah. Super proud
So,
to watch that happen too. It's really exciting to see it happen.
and speaking along those lines,
Mhm.
Fort Myers Beach, are there certain things you're involved with to give back and help support the community in other ways that maybe we could mention?
Well, obviously, being involved with the chamber board as many years as I've been is an honor for me. Um, but I can also tell you that Blake actually donates to two different local nonprofit organizations every single month, and we give back to people on the beach as well. I mean, whether it's the Friends of Lovers Key, whether it's FMB Strong, whatever, we've done our level best, and then we have whenever we have an event of any magnitude, we do our best to have it there. We've had an event at Diamond Head, at Pink Shell, at Margaritaville. We're doing our Christmas party. We're going to be taking a party bus from our office, and we're going to take the pontoon from Salty Sam's, and then we're gonna be having dinner at Bonita Bill's. So, I'm sorry, Bonita Fish, Bonita Fish.
Right.
Sorry, Joe, I didn't mean to say Bonita Bill's. Yeah, Bonita Fish. Um, so we'll be doing our dinner there and then take the bus back. So we try to bring as much money out to the area as what we can. Yeah.
And I love that. And I love where this relationship is going as well, too, because as we mentioned, you're coming on board and sponsoring a segment that we're going to call on this
Mhm.
podcast about
Right,
community charities and nonprofits and help
right,
sharing their story to the people outside here as well, too. So I'm very
right.
excited about that and where we can take that and raise awareness and really
Yeah.
help really give back to the community. So thank you for that.
Of course, it's an honor to work together, Jim, really it is. Yeah.
So are you from Southwest Florida originally?
No, I was born and raised in Michigan, lived north of Philly for a bit, and lived in, Minnesota for a few years, and then I lived in Sarasota when I was a little bit younger. Geez, it sounds like I was running from the law, doesn't it? Actually, my husband's job took us, around a bit. Um, so no, born and raised in Michigan. So how about you?
I was born in Wisconsin and grew up in
Not too
Illinois
far. Yep.
and got out of college and said, I don't want to shovel snow anymore. I'm
No,
moving down
thank you.
here.
See how
So
smart we are.
I know, right? And
Right.
now all our friends want to come visit us, right?
Yes, they do. We're very popular down here.
So are there certain places that you would, maybe suggest to our listeners when they do have people come visit, like we so often do, to take them to Fort Myers Beach and share the experience?
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I mean, look at the restaurants that are up and running now. I mean, you've got Nervous Nellies and La Ola and of course the whale's on its way
Yeah,
and the beach bar and it's coming back and it feels so good. It feels so good. And of course people say, well, it doesn't look the same anymore. Well, no, it can't. We've got to be mindful of, again, go back to the insurance industry.
yeah.
We have to, we have to be safe and be up to standards and be up to code and all of that. So no, it won't work exactly the same, probably won't look the same, but boy, the people are still here. And whether you just go to Mojo's and get a cup of coffee or, whatever, I mean, you know, it's, it still has the same people and the same family feel.
And it's got the vibe, it's got that energy, and it's nice to
It
have
does.
that back and seeing the new things sprout up and come back that we all know and love. So
That's exactly right. Yep.
s- on your industry, do you notice certain things maybe changing or trending now because of what happened?
No, well, I mean, there was a time when some of the insurance carriers would say, "Well, we're just not gonna write in this zip code or that zip code or whatever," and it limited us, completely because I think some of the insurance carriers might just say, "Okay, well, we need a break from that area."
Yeah.
And so, but I can tell you, I have my home policy with Frontline, and it actually went down from
Wow.
when it renewed. Wasn't much, went down 3 or $400, but hey, I'll take it.
Yep.
Because before the rates are going up and up and up, and so no, it decreased, and so and they FEMA actually also did where I live in Estero. They went through and did a remapping, and now all of a sudden I'm not in an AE zone anymore. Now I'm in an X zone flood-wise, and so I don't have to carry my flood insurance. I'm not
Uh-huh.
dumb, so I still carry it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so yeah, no, I'm not as, and we really in the industry are not as nervous as what we were before. No,
That's
really,
good
that's a good question. Yeah,
because every time a natural disaster or something like that comes along, people think, oh, there go the rates, they're
there
going
we
to go
go.
up again.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
there we go. But it's
Yeah.
good to see
Well,
things like that coming down.
it's scary though. I mean, it is, but we're so blessed because one of the insurance carriers that we write for is called Loggerhead, and there's only 50 agencies in the entire state of Florida that are allowed to write for them, and we're one
Wow.
of them. So yeah, we're really pleased about that. So, right, and so that again, that goes back to the independent side of things. So when you go, you take, okay, let me give you an example. USAA, who targets I don't mean to say targets, that's not a nice
Yep.
word. They market to
Service.
the
Yep.
service people, right? They can write for USAA, the end. So This is your option. So now I've heard that they're awesome with their claims. I mean, really, really awesome. But when you're independent and we have all these, different options, you may say, okay, well, Tower Hill won't write this, but People's Trust will. Well, People's Trust won't write that, but Frontline will. And so it does give us an advantage to really help our clients, give them the
Yeah, and
best
you
coverage that they can have. Right.
absolutely you can find what fits their needs
Right.
exactly and kind of tailor it to say, hey, this is what we have. This is all you get. You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
I love that. So, is there
Yeah.
one thing that you wish our listeners knew about State Insurance USA that maybe they wouldn't be too aware
Hmm.
of?
I think it's our heart. Um, when I'm interviewing people, I can teach them skills, not me personally, but my team leads can teach them skills, but I can't teach them heart. And that's the one thing that we have that sets us apart. It's our culture. It's truly our culture. And we really do the very level best that we can for our clients. We really do. And we're the first ones to also say, Jim, we
And
looked at your
that's the
stuff and
yeah.
and you know what? We think you should probably just stay right where you are. You know, and so that's who we are. And that is what I'm most proud of, working for Blake and working for this agency. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. And again, we appreciate everything you guys do with the community. How would our listeners go about contacting you if they wanted to learn more or had some questions?
You can either call us at 239-567-9992. That's our main number, or you can go to stateinsuranceusa.com or our Facebook page. And so it's State Insurance USA is our full name, and that's how you'll get us. But yeah, we'd be happy to help anybody that we can.
Very good. Any last words for our listeners today?
I thank you, Jim, for what you're doing with this podcast, and I know that it's going to be a great thing for our community. And I thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and I appreciate your support and your help, and I'm looking forward to where our podcast goes.
That sounds great. We'll go from here, right?
That's it. That's it.
Sounds
Gail,
good. All right.
thank you for being such a good neighbor, and we'll see you at the beach soon.
All right. Thanks, Jim. Bye bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Fort Myers Beach Good Neighbor podcast, where community meets paradise. If you loved what you heard, share it with a friend and keep the good vibes going. Until next time, stay sunny, stay salty, and keep being a good neighbor. Also, to nominate your favorite neighbors, local legends, heroes, or island businesses to be on the show, go to CaboWaboGym.com, that's CaboWaboGym.com, or call 239-427-4100. We want to send out some island love to Eric Tibbs from Edward Jones, State Insurance USA, and Home Welfare Services Fort Myers. They are the businesses that allow us to share the soul of our community with every listener, from local stories to the positive vibe of island life. Here's to celebrating all that makes Fort Myers Beach the slice of paradise we all love.